What are you saying about me, man?
Oh,
What are you saying? Why are you starting?
You're a bit too big
Why
for
are you
me.
starting, boss? Why are you starting?
Look, mate, I don't want any trouble.
I need to knock you up, boss. I think that's what I need to do. Yeah? Getting a bit too feisty with me, boss.
It's my YouTube channel.
Yeah?
It's my YouTube channel.
I don't care what it is, man.
Well, hold on. I've got 350,000.
You could be advertising for cornflakes for all I care.
Well, I've got 350,000
And
subscribers.
what? Am I bothered?
Well, you should be
Am
bothered.
I bothered, boss?
All right, get back on that again. It was like he wasn't bothered. I've got 350,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. You need to show some respect to that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Now here's the point. How do you face it? If you're in a monkey dance with someone that's taller than you, you know, what are your targets? How are you going to move on someone that's taller than you? Bearing in mind, a monkey dance is quite close. We always say don't get involved in the monkey dance. It's a bad thing to do. We've done quite a few videos on monkey dance, you know, break distance, don't engage, don't converse, don't argue, position yourself, you know, don't get emotional about it. We've done all of these sort of discussions, but let's just go a stage further. What happens if you actually have to take action and the person is a lot taller than you? Well, the person's taller than you, ironically, if you're going to act first, you want to be close. You actually don't want to be at a distance if you're going to take action first. If you already decided, well, I'm going to have to take control of this situation because obviously it becomes assault, and assault is in the British law at least. I fear for my life. The guy's actually aggressing towards me, and it's quite clear. I've stepped away, and he's still coming forward. I've stepped away. I've done everything I can to actually appease him, and he's still being aggressive towards me. Well, then that becomes assault. So from this position here, I'm in a monkey dance scenario. I need to take control. What will my targets be? Well, if the guy's a lot taller than me, as I said, I don't want to be at a distance, because if I'm at a distance, I'm going to be dealing with a longer range, okay, and I've got a shorter range. It's really hard for me to get in and hit him, because if he's out here and I'm out here, he's essentially hitting me. So I need to be closer. That's the first thing. The second thing, assuming we're going to take action on, is I have to get my targets right. Now, if the guy's a lot taller than you, don't try and hit him in the head, because what happens when you try to hit up is that you take your arms further away from your body. So in other words, that sounds really strange saying that, but you take your hands further away, which creates more spaces. Does that make sense? There's much more spaces because your hands are out here. So I would always say never risk hitting up, okay, potentially, although there will be times when that will work, and I'll come back to that in a second. Try to pick the closest target, and the closest target will either be his solar plexus or his groin, because if I'm hitting to his groin is basically, well, it's very phallic, really. His groin's a bit close to me. I'm not sure where this is going, but anyway, never mind. The point is, okay, from here, it's a good shot for the groin, but most importantly, the solar plexus is reasonable, because from this position, I can hit with maximum power to the length and the height of my shoulder, okay, without losing power. Because once I start, if I'm striking straight, I start to lose power and connection from the fist, elbow to shoulder joint linkage. So if I'm actually going from this position into the solar plexus here, then I'm essentially hitting, okay, a good valid target and maximizing my power. Because what I want to do when I'm close is punch straight. And punching straight means that I'm actually pulling the elbow in, and I'm actually driving in with connecting the lat muscle. So I'm keeping the elbow in, connecting the lat muscle, keeping the shoulder down. So the solar plexus is a good valid one. Bearing that in mind, hitting up into the throat's also good, and using your head if necessary. If he's really tall, bang, works quite well. But hitting up to the neck, to the throat, to the solar plexus. Now, I did say there are times when you can hit over the top. I don't like it, but one of the things is you can loop over the top, but as I said, it doesn't give a necessarily a connection, okay, between your lat muscle, but it does give you momentum behind the fist. So when you're looping the hand over, but you can probably see the difference, it's a lot tighter. So if we're looking at a preemptive strike here, when I really fear that the guy's going to attack me or assault me, then if I'm actually going to loop over the top, as I'm looping over the top, I'm potentially leaving myself open, because let's face it, people take punches, right? And one of the things I try not to teach my guys is to go for concussive punches in a street fight. I'm not saying don't do it, but I try to make that the secondary idea. The idea is to incapacitate the person. And the best way to do that sometimes is to disrupt their breathing. So if I punch into his solar plexus or I punch into his pubic bone, bang, groin is not so much to disrupt his breathing, but just to get him to flinch or to think or to move. But a solar plexus has to be the #1 target when the guy's taller than you. So just to summarize, when we're in this position here, okay, I generally want to keep my chin down. Okay, if he's quite tall, I need to control the space, have my hands up, but I'm far better off being close and going for the solar plexus and trying to finish the fight, disrupt his breathing, than trying to hit over and hit to the head. If there aren't any questions, hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Do like and subscribe, click the bell notifications. Have a great day.